Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Simon Ray here, and today is Brown Girl Finance Friday, where every Friday I teach you a business tip or finance tip that has helped me on my journey or is in the process of helping me on my journey to financial freedom. So today we're going to be talking about how I read over 10 books a month. Yes, 10 books a month, hands down. Sometimes more, sometimes less, but usually 10 books a month. Now, before we get into this video of, the different apps that I use and like the systems that I use, I want to talk about why it's important to read books, because it seems like nowadays people kind of overlook like the importance of, reading and learning. We seem to think like, okay, I went to college, okay, I went to high school, that's enough learning, I don't need to learn anything else. But one thing I do want to say, hold on, let me fix my little back pillow. I don't edit videos, so y'all gonna see this part too. So anyway, yeah, so people tend to think that you stop learning, but the truth is you never stop learning. You never stop learning. As soon as you stop learning, you stop growing. And I had an issue with that before. I was like, man, because I'm in college and I'm basically in like borderline medical school. So it's like, my thing is, a lot of stuff is like boring, it's like repetitive, it's like written like by old people like who dead and go, like it's really boring. So it doesn't really keep my attention, because I'm at heart, I'm more of a creative. I'm not a corporate America person, but I place myself in that position because of social norms, and I was trying to be, follow, I was trying to fall in line. So, but with that being said, I didn't know that, I was going to become an entrepreneur like I did and like I am. But now that I am an entrepreneur, I've learned that you still have to keep learning, but it's a different way that you have to keep learning. You might not have to go sit in a classroom. You might not have to go, do online like college courses, but you may have to take some work. You may have to go, you should go to, well, I'm not gonna say you may have to, you have to go to workshops, you have to read, you have to get mentors, you have to do those things. But the way I do it is way better than college. I'm not knocking college, because college is important, especially if you want to be in the medical field or law field or whatever. College is definitely important, but I'm saying there are other ways to learn, and reading is one of them. So let me tell you a little bit, so about why reading specifically is important. Okay, when you watch videos or something like that, you can see it visually happening, but sometimes it goes so fast and we watch so much stuff, like we fill our mind with so much stuff every day. Whatever we watch, you don't quite remember, or you might not grasp it. And you might find like, when you read something, it takes more time and it takes more effort, so your mind kind of holds on to it more, if that makes sense. I don't know if that makes sense to you, but it makes sense to me. So what I'm saying is, when you read something, it kind of ingrains in your brain more, because it takes more effort, it takes more attention. Like, you could be watching my video right now, but like doing something else, and it doesn't really grab your attention, So that's why reading is very fundamental. But reading also can take a long time out of your day. Like, if you really want to sit down there and read, it'll take a long time out of you. It takes quite a bit time out of your day, especially if the book is good. Because I've been in situations where the book was good and I was sitting there reading for like 5 hours when I was like, oh, I'm only supposed to read a page when I wake up, but I have been there before. So without further ado, I'm gonna tell you how I read 10 books a month, which just seems like a lot to people, but I don't really feel like it's a lot when you use these systems. I do use a lot of audio books as well, and I don't always read the books. I read some, and then I use audio books for some. So it depends on, and I'm gonna tell you why as I get into the ways and the apps that I use. I also want to say some of these, well, 2 of them you have to pay for, but I want to say, like, when I start talking about price and stuff, don't just turn off the video. Like, watch it all the way through, because you have to understand, you have to invest in yourself. If you don't invest in yourself, you're just not gonna grow. I am one of the people that, I could be a millionaire and I still find a way to save money, so I understand being cheap, I understand wanting to have money, I understand like wanting a cushion, but at the same time you need to invest. So I do struggle with that as well, but I'm telling you, if you invest in these apps, it's not going to bring you nothing but more success, more joy, more knowledge, and more knowledge equals more success, more success equals more money, and that's all what we're here for right now, right? Okay, so let's get right into this video. So the first app that I use is called Audible, and Audible is actually owned by Amazon. So I'm pretty sure by now you have heard about it. They always got like all types of commercials and stuff. If not, I will leave the links below and everything so you can check it out. But my first app that I started with is Audible. Now I don't get on Audible as much anymore because Audible is a service that you do have to pay for. It's $14 a month. However, they do give you a free credit. So you not only do you have to pay the $14 a month, but you also have to pay for each book that you buy. So for me, it's like, what am I really paying the $14 a month for if I still gotta buy the book anyway? But what they do is they do give you a free credit per month, so that with that one free credit, you can get one free book, and they'll tell you what books that you can get. So I always use my free credit, and I get a book that I wanna a book that I really want to read or I really want to listen to, and that'll be my one credit for a month. So I get one book off of Audible. The thing I do like about Audible is like you can play it in your car, you can play it like right you're about to go to sleep, you can play it while you're doing your makeup. So that's how I read a lot of my marketing books, because with marketing books, you'll see as I go along while I'm saying this, with marketing books and business books, you need to read those all the way through. You need to read those all the way through. You might need to go back a couple pages, highlight some stuff. You need to do that all the way through. So with Audible, it also gives you the option to look at the book. So you can either listen to it or you can tap it and it'll give you the words. So what I do is I'll order a book I want to read. The last book I read was, Michelle Obama's book, The Beginning. So I listened to most of it, because I listened to most of it, and then the chapters that I really wanted to pay attention to, I went back and read them on my phone. So I kind of was like, okay, I started listening to it, like, this is a really interesting thing. I listened to it all the way through, and I kind of like wrote it down in my notes to go back to it, and then when I had time, I sat and I actually read it on my phone and went through it. And I usually listen to Audible when I'm doing. If you've seen my 5 side hustle video beforehand, you'll see that I was talking about how I do Instacart. So when I do Instacart, what I do is I'll plug my phone to the car, and it comes through the car, and I'll just listen to my audiobook all day while I'm dropping off orders, while I'm making money. So I'm making money while I'm learning, and it's fun learning at that. So I listen to my Audible books while I'm doing that. I listen to them while I'm taking my spiritual baths, or my self-care baths. I listen to them like while I'm packing orders. I listen to them, just while sometimes I just listen to my audio bits and just lay in bed, like on my days that I, want to be lazy and go to the park. I listen to them at the gym. Whatever I'm doing, I listen to my Audible books. And it does give you the option to actually look at them or listen to them. So that's why I feel like that's a good app. If that's a good beginner's app. The second app that I use is my ultimate favorite, and this is how I get most of my books in. It's called Book Notes. Now, you do have to purchase this app. It gives you like a 90-day trial or a 30-day. It gives you like a 30-day trial where you could just like listen to free books or whatever for 30 days for free. And then after that, you have to pay for it. So you could pay monthly, or you could pay yearly. And the yearly, or you could pay the one time. It's not a yearly. You could pay monthly, or you could pay like a one-time fee. And a one-time fee is $69.95. So it's like $70, which seems like a lot for an app. But when you think about it, it's really not, because it's an app that you're gonna be using most of your time every day. And it's like, if you think about it, that's how much you spend like on an outfit, a purse, a bag, way more you spend on a wig, some hair. Like if I could spend $400 on my wig, I could spend $70 on an app that's going to give me more knowledge. You get what I'm saying? It's not that deep. So Book Notes, I like Book Notes because whatever book you want to read, it basically like condenses it down. Like for example, they have Rich Dad Poor Dad on there, which is one of my favorite books I've read, and they condensed all of that down to a 5-minute read. So all you really listening to is 5 minutes. In 5 minutes, it'll tell you everything that was in the book. So what it does is, okay, let's say the book got 12 chapters. It takes those 12 chapters, takes the main points out of those 12 chapters, and basically reads that to you. So that way it doesn't you get rid of all the fluff, all because really, when people write books, you don't have to listen to everything word for word, unless it's like a fantasy or mystery novel, something like that. Marketing books are mostly like it's the main point, and then it got key points to it, and then they drag out the key points, which makes it the page. Like they might have a point about social media marketing, or really social media marketing is like 2 things, like 2 or 3 things, boom boom boom, 2 or 3 things. That's more social media marketing. They'll take those 2 or 3 things and make 70 pages just on that one thing, 80 pages on that. But you know what I'm saying? Like, and it really didn't have to. You really didn't have to read all that. You really didn't have to read all that. So what Book Notes does, it condenses it so you can get through them faster. So what I do is, when my business My business books are like books about like my emotional health or stuff like that. Mostly books about emotional health, because I rather use the Audible for, you know, marketing books, because I'm in beginner stages, so I like to, you know, listen to it all the way through. But book notes I listen to, like if I want to listen to like a biography about somebody that I really love or really look up to, or if I want to listen to something about emotional health, you know, about love and attraction, like stuff like that. Like I read the laws of attraction on there, manifestation, stuff like that. Stuff like that is only really key points, so that's why I use my book notes for. And that's how I get the bulk of my books, because I really might go through like 5 books. Like I might read, because some stuff is 5 minutes and some stuff could be like up to 20 minutes, you know. So I might go through like, you know, just go through one day and read like at least 1 book a day or something, or like 1 book every 2 days, or, you know, stuff like that. So that's how I get the bulk of my books in. So every month I'll make sure I probably at least read like 8 books off of there. So that's how I get my 8 books in, my 10 books in. So I might read, you know, an Audible book, and most of their books is like 23 hours. You know, they got some short ones that's like maybe 8 hours, 4 hours, and stuff like that. But I usually like read, like I'll get like an Audible book, and I'll probably spend like 2 days reading that, well, listening to that Audible book and just reading what I actually want to know. And then I'll go to my book notes, you know, after I'm done with that book, and I'll just, you know, keep going through the books. Like I'll search a title, like, okay, this month I want to learn about, you know, emotional health from, you know, childhood trauma. So I'll read like 10 books on, you know, or I'll go through book notes and listen to 10 books about childhood trauma. You know what I'm saying? And that's how I get, you know, my 8 books in. Now, the last app I want to talk about is iHeartRadio. Now, iHeartRadio is not a book app. This is a podcasting app. But the thing about podcasts is, what people don't know is a lot of people who run podcasts have books. A lot of people who wrote books have podcasts. You know, either way. I watched the Tony Robbins podcast, or I listened to the Tony Robbins podcast, and a couple other, you know, influential business people, and a lot of them have books. So instead of like reading all their books, sometimes I just listen to their podcast, because usually when they're doing their podcast, what they do is they'll talk about their book in their podcast. So they'll be like, okay, I wrote, my name is Tony Robbins. I wrote a book on, you know, motivation and staying motivated. He'll have an episode about him talking about how to stay motivated, and he'll refer to the chapter that's in his book. So technically, you're reading what's in the book, but you're not really reading it, because it's like a podcast, but he's talking about what's in the chapter. So if you pay attention enough, you really don't have to read the book, because he's telling you this is what's in this chapter, you know. Like the same thing with another guy I watch for Love and Relationships, Tony Gaskins. When he does his videos, his monthly videos on his podcast, or his daily videos on his podcast or his YouTube, he always refers, okay, in chapter 11 I'll talk about such and such and such, and his video is on that chapter. So that's how I would say this. I guess you can call this a bonus app, but this is how I would say I get an extra book in, 11th book in or something. I listen to a lot of podcasts of authors. So to go through that list again, there's Audible, there's Amazon by Audible, which is $14 a month. There's Book Notes, which is $69.95. All links will be below. And then there's iHeartRadio, and that's how I read over 10 books a month. Now, with that being said, reading books is very important. I know we all feel like we don't have time. We rather just watch something. We rather just, you know, but you need to read. Like a quote I remember, it's a famous quote that says, if you want to hide something from a black person, and I don't want to make this a black and white thing, because I don't know who's going to be watching my channel in the future, but don't take this to heart. But like I said, they say if you want to hide something from a black person, put it in a book. And they're completely right, because there's so much knowledge and information that you can get from books that you can't really get from, you know, a video, because a video is not always going to go in depth as a book is. A book is something that somebody took time to write, you know, and it has to make sense. When you make a video like this video probably takes me, you know, 15 minutes. Like I went in depth, but I can't really sit here and tell you, okay, in the Audible app, if you push this button, it does this, or each app has so many features. But I like to make my video at least under 20 minutes or under, no longer than that, you know, because you want to get to the point. When people watch videos, it's because they want to get to the point. It's not because they want to hear you talk for a long time, you know. So it's hard to get a lot of detail in there. But when you read a book or listen to an audio book, you get the detail, and that's what you need. You need the details on doing stuff. So this is why this is important, and this is a good tool to use on your way to financial abundance, you know. And it's helped me. Some popular books I read, just to go through them. You know, I'm gonna do a whole nother video on that. I'm gonna do a whole nother video on that, because that's a whole nother topic, and I could be sitting here for hours telling you about the books I read and why. But if you like this video, please like, share, and subscribe. You know, I am new to YouTube, and I am, you know, I'm liking it so far, and I'm staying steady with my my Brown Girl Finance Friday. You know, I'm getting better. I'm working on my speech and everything, because I do have like a slight lisp and, you know, a slight speech impediment. Like I do stutter and stuff like that. But hey, it is what it is. I'm here to be myself. You want to like it or you not. Like, you know, go to my else channel. But anyway, like, if that's it said, please like, subscribe to my channel if you want to see more videos like these. I will be starting 2 other segments. I'm not going to tell you what they are yet in this video, because I kind of want to I want it to be a surprise, and I want to make sure it's done and solidified before I start announcing it. Now let's talk about the links below. Now below I have my I have 3 businesses. I have an ebook business that I just started. It's called Written for Her, and it's basically all types of ebooks. It's going to be, right now I only have vendors list ebooks and, you know, business ebooks, how to start your own business, logo and stuff like that. And I'm going to have, I'm also going to have, maybe by the time of the video, maybe not, I'm also going to have a training on how to do, you know, product advertising, as far as like Instagram videos, Instagram like photo shoots and stuff for your products and your companies. So I'm going to have an online course for that and an ebook for that. And I'm going to be writing like an ebook on emotional awareness for dark-skinned women and stuff like that. So it's going to be different types of ebooks, but basically it's just a library for women like looking for self-development and self-improvement. It's basically books that I wish that I had like growing up, that helped me. Everything that I learned, I'm just trying to pass it down to like people younger, or maybe even people who are older than me, who never had that type of experience or never had, you know, that type of healing that I have experienced. So there's that. And then I have my cosmetic line, which is Siren XO Cosmetics, and that is my baby. Siren XO Cosmetics is a cosmetics line that bases their eyeshadow palettes and makeup collections off the stories of everyday women. So for instance, I have a palette right now. This is the palette. It is called Karma. It's a little bit used, that's why it's dirty. And Karma is about a scorned woman getting her groove back after her husband cheated on her. And, you know, you see Karma, the lady is crying. And, you know, I have, you know, names like New Bay, Triggered, Blocked, Wifey, you know, whole PTSD, trauma, stuff like that. It's basically, and it also has a movie that goes along with it, so you get a better understanding. So every palette that I have comes out with a movie. So the point is for you to collect them all and build your own library that resonates with you. So, now, for my last business is called Siren's Body, and Siren's Body is a health and fitness brand where I provide, you know, ebooks and an online course, which is a video that shows you how to eat and work out in a 5-day guided workout session that basically help you get an hourglass shape without getting the surgery that everybody seems to want so much. So there's that. Yeah, so you can get, I'll leave a link below for that if you're interested in that, how to lose weight. I did lose over 60 pounds on my own with no trainer, just through eating and exercise, and I want to share that with you. Yeah, so also all my social media is down below. You can follow me on Instagram at Siren_Red. You can follow my my cosmetic line, SirenXO_, and so. All that stuff will be down below in the description box below. Now, without further ado, thank you guys for watching, and I appreciate you guys being here with me so much. And I will see you next Friday for another Brown Girl Finance Friday. Bye.